A year ago, I came out as transgender, but I didn't tell anyone outside of my immediate social circles for the sake of convenience. Ever since I've started college, I've been out as a trans woman. But I often struggle with figuring out how to present myself in a way that reflects that. A lot of it comes down to my voice. I love to speak. I like performance. I use my voice a lot. My deep, masculine voice. The worst part is that I like my voice. It's just that because it's not very feminine sounding, people often assume incorrectly. I wish I had two voices, the one that I have and the one that I want. But voice training is really hard. I guess you could say that I'd like to have my cake and eat it too, but I'd also like someone to give it to me for free. Hopefully that analogy tracks. My appearance also plays a large factor into the struggle of how I want to present myself. I can wear more feminine clothing, but as soon as you hear my voice, the illusion can fall apart. And I'm normally used to dressing pretty androgynously, so it makes it harder to tell when I'm trying to be more femme. I didn't realize how much being called the wrong pronouns would hurt. In my experience, people tend to forget very easily. But how do I remind someone without it coming off as rude or passive-aggressive? No matter how you do it, it's just a little awkward. I had a particularly odd encounter in my writing class, where we were doing introductory icebreakers, and instead of introducing ourselves, we would introduce a partner. I had the foresight that I was about to be referred to as a third party, so I gave my pronouns to my partner. A simple, oh, by the way, I use she, her. I did that because, as I've established, it's not immediately apparent that I use she, her. It came to be our turn, and when my partner introduced me, I heard a deluge of he's and hims. I didn't like that. When I corrected her, she just chuckled. That was the end of the interaction. It left me in a state of confusion. Was she intentionally disrespecting me, or did she not hear what I said and just chuckled? I would do that. Sometimes my teachers get them wrong. I don't know how to approach that either. I don't want to interrupt the class or something that could be seen as pretty petty. And once again, how do I correct someone without it coming off as passive-aggressive? Here's the weirdest thought that persists. What if you don't believe me? If gender is shown through expression and you perceive my expression as male, what does that mean for me? I have to prove myself somehow. The silver lining of these interactions is that they reinforce the validity of my transness. A majority of me coming to terms with being trans was denial. But if I wasn't really a girl, being called the wrong pronouns wouldn't have bothered me so much. In a twisted way, it's reassuring. I'm scared to go to the bathroom. It doesn't feel right to go into the men's restroom. And while it feels right to go into the women's restroom, I don't want anyone to feel unsafe or uncomfortable if they perceive me as a male infiltrating a female space. Rationally, I can think about how most people don't care. It's the bathroom. What if I meet the one person who does? I suddenly have to prove that I'm enough of a woman to be in the bathroom. It's a little irrational. I live in Massachusetts, so chances are pretty low that that would happen. But what if it does? I think that some of these thoughts stem from the negative coverage of trans people in the news. The narrative I generally see is that trans women are perverted men and trans men are confused girls. Also that non-binary people just don't exist. I'm scared of somehow fitting into that model. I think this is a form of cognitive dissonance. I, in my rational frame of mind, can recognize that that notion is ridiculous. I've taken more than one psychology class, and I know for a fact that gender is a valid concept. But I still feel doubt in myself. Logic dictates that I shouldn't. In conclusion, things are not that great. But if you are to take anything away from this video, I hope you understand a little more of the struggle that I and some other trans people might face. Because not everyone is trans, and it's not a virus that you can catch.